Hey Kim, did you see the Rogue One trailer? Yes, I did see the Rogue One trailer. Let's talk about it. So, this was released Thursday morning as a kind of early surprise to those of us who were happily awaiting Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and seeing where it would lead up to. We see that Felicity Jones is the star as Jyn Erso. For those of you surprised at a female lead, where were you months ago when this was announced? That's all I'm going to talk about for that. But I want to move on to what's really important, the trailer itself. There's a lot going on, but there's not really a lot implicitly said. So it's just, how would I describe it? Just images, really. Feelings. We start opening with what appears to be the Rebellion's base on Yavin 4, and it looks really good. There's a lot of detail moving along as you move through the shot. We see a gonk droid, an X-wing that's been beat up. A lot of things going on. I did appreciate the detail there. They're underlining Jyn's, I guess, crimes, but they seem to be crimes against the Empire. So I think the rebels mean it in kind of a complimentary street cred kind of way, I don't know, but also she's in handcuffs, so they're still a little cautious about her. She is a thief, but then again, this is a heist story, so she's the perfect choice for it. She's a rogue, and maybe she's not the #1 rogue. We see a very familiar face, on your own from the age of 15, reckless, aggressive, and undisciplined. Mon Mothma is very judgmental for a woman with only one outfit for most of her life. There's a very interesting shot of what appears to be a bacta tank, a frosty one. And then there's a figure. Some people think he could be Palpatine. I mean, he is alive at this point, and this is a precursor to A New Hope, so he certainly would be a little bit more, shall we say, able-bodied at this point. There's bowing. There's royal guards. That means someone important could possibly be in this bacta tank. I don't know if I should call it a bacta tank, which... hence the quotes. So who could that be? Maybe Snoke. Maybe they're inserting him before the action of the trilogy that everyone is most familiar with and deferential to. I don't know. We get a shot of Diego Luna's character, which is said to be called Cassian Willix. I do not have that confirmed. And we have an interesting character in the background behind Jyn, which is a droid. It appears to be an Imperial droid that was repurposed by the Rebels or the Alliance at this point. And we're thinking that's Alan Tudyk's mocap character. It would make sense. He has been a mocap robot before, like from iRobot. And I mean, if you're gonna make him a robot character, this is the one. This is the special droid that was repurposed and maybe reprogrammed. I'm not really sure how that's gone through yet because we have so little to look at. The shot where we see the stormtroopers being blown up, in the background there seems to be some kind of 3 capture units, which could be confirmed later when we see 3 X-wing pilots seemingly in chains being led around. I think they've been captured, and we have groups of roguish rebels. I think it's just the 2, Willix and Erso, together working on that so far, I guess at this point in the movie, to recapture them. We have a shot of Ben Mendelsohn, an Imperial well, no, I shouldn't say definitively, but he looks like he's part of the Imperial Security Bureau, which would be, I mean, if the Imperials are a Nazi amalgam, then they are the SS or the Gestapo. They are scary motherfuckers. Mon Mothma goes on. A major weapons test is imminent, and we need to know what it is and how to destroy it. This is the Death Star. I think this was clear from the get-go. That is what they are talking about, and is the enemy, of course, because that's what the enemy is in every movie. It looks like they're going to blow up maybe a guinea pig planet. Which one could it be? It's not Alderaan for once, which still exists at this point. So speaking of that, we do have some new locales. Of course, there's sand everywhere because what would a Star Wars movie be without sand blowing up in the air and blasters being fired? But there seems to be a beach, palm trees. Maybe it's a new planet. I doubt it would be Tatooine or Jakku again. It's probably something different altogether at this point in time. More new characters are introduced, including Forrest Whitaker's character, who narrates about half of the trailer. He has a breathing apparatus, if you may notice, and large, bulky armor. So could he be a bounty hunter, maybe? I don't know at this point. He does seem to be a mentor type to Jyn, which means he is destined to be killed, in my opinion. We also have Donnie Yen, who looks like he's filling the archetype of samurai warrior monk. He does have strikingly bluish eyes, which means he could be blind, or maybe like a blind master at this point, which would make sense considering the influences that Luke has put into his mythology altogether. And then we move on to what is most likely the most interesting part of this trailer. We have Jyn standing in a hallway, very reminiscent of the one in Empire where Luke confronted Vader. We hear the respirator, I think, a little over the music swelling up, and Forrest Whitaker's character asking, "What are you going to be?" She is wearing what appears to be a TIE fighter pilot uniform, so there could be a few different interpretations of this. One is she's a turncoat. Two is she's just wearing this as a disguise. After all, it is a heist movie. Or three, I mean, we do have an interesting thing off the top, which is the Force theme is playing, the tinkling piano Force theme that is playing over her, which means could she be a Force sensitive? I think we've been kind of implicitly promised that this is not really a Jedi movie, which is an interesting concept, which we would have seen in the scrap Star Wars game, Star Wars 1313. So there is the idea, at least implanted, that Jyn could be a Force sensitive, and maybe she could be swayed. I don't know at this point, because it's, again, very, very early on in what we're looking at and what we're knowing about this movie and its plot and its characters, who most of which we've never ever seen before. We still haven't seen Mads Mikkelsen, so I don't know where he could possibly fit into this. I hope he's scary, or maybe the one in the bacta tank, for all I know. What do you think of the Rogue One trailer, and how are you feeling about it after looking at all of these images? Let us know below in the comments, and we'll like and subscribe for more.